All right, what up? Christie Aphrodite, clearsightconsulting.net, and I want to talk with you about speaking your truth. And more importantly, speaking your truth like a boss, which will help you to heal not only your fear of speaking, but your physical body and the dis-eases that result from not speaking our own truth. Okay, so I'm gonna focus more on the energetic, metaphysical, spiritual, whatever, the mental processes going on, but it's all connected, right? So it's not a coincidence that people who have trouble speaking their truth are often diagnosed with autoimmune, thyroid disorders, adrenal fatigue, depression, anxiety, right? So your thyroid, basically, it's right here, right? And by the way, it's like a butterfly-shaped gland, okay? Right here at your throat chakra, butterfly, hello, transformation, freedom, breaking free from the cocoon, right? So, first of all, and let me say this too, your thyroid obviously is in control of or supports your metabolism and adrenals, okay? And there's underactive thyroid, overactive thyroid, and they medicate them or treat them as the same condition. Underactive thyroid, known as hypothyroidism, is, or Hashimoto's, they call it, right? And weight gain is often associated with that, whereas hyperthyroid, they call Graves' disease, right? And again, treated the same way. Those with hyperthyroidism claim to have a high metabolism. They're usually thinner, and the opposite with hypothyroidism, right? They're usually heavier and say that, or claim that they have a slow or sluggish metabolism. So we're going to talk about this here today and how it relates to you speaking your truth. And what I really want to say is, first of all, I have experience with this. For those of you who don't know, go look at my Instagram and my hashtag Aphrodite here. It documents the whole journey from the rashes on my throat, on my thyroid, my diagnosis is multiple autoimmune issues, and anyways, it's all there. So I don't want to go into that. I'm just saying I have experience. I also have experience with not being allowed to speak, not just my public massacre and censorship, but even growing up. If I asked a question or said something that was inappropriate, then I got locked up in a closet. As a teenager to adult, where my parents can't control me, and I'm talking my adult years up until literally 10, 12 years ago. Didn't matter if I was 2 miles from my mother or 2,000 miles from my mother. If I dared speak my truth, she would literally call cops and have me hogtied. Okay? So I understand the fear of speaking up. I understand the fear of confrontation. I understand the fears of what are they gonna think of me or whatever. So we're gonna talk about that today. So what are they going to think of me? That's like the most common reason why people are afraid to speak their truth. They're afraid of what someone else might think, right? And how do you know that they're not actually thinking the same thing, but they're too afraid to say it too? So you might actually help release that butterfly within them, right? And yourself by speaking your truth. But anyways, so you care what other people might think. Do these other people care about what you actually think, right? Well, I don't want to offend anyone. So is it better to offend yourself instead, right? Now, people want to cry like censorship or suppression or oppression. But how could you complain about someone else suppressing or censoring you when you are suppressing and censoring yourself? And guess what happens when you suppress those emotions, those feelings, that truth? What up, Thor? Thor does not suppress his truth ever, by the way. Thanks for that storm today. All right, so kitty astrology. Okay, so yeah, you can complain about other people suppressing you when you're suppressing yourself, right? And oftentimes the suppression or censorship out there is a reflection of what's actually going on in here. So when you're holding on to all those thoughts, when you're holding on to all those words, it leads to backups and sluggish metabolism, right? So whether that your doctor diagnoses it in your thyroid or your adrenals or your depression or your autoimmune or whatever, it's literally all the same thing, just different degrees, right? So on the other hand, so the opposite, right, the hyperthyroid sometimes speak way too much truth, like in a damaging way, and maybe need to learn how to not be so harsh with their words, right? Or maybe slow down and think before you speak, right? But again, most people that come to me, it's because of sluggish metabolism, hypothyroidism, etc. So when it comes to speaking your truth, who is the most important person on the planet right now? That's you. Because this is your soul, this is your path, this is your school, and there ain't nobody that's gonna ace it but you, okay? Like, it's cool to hear other people speak our truth, and maybe we think they say it in a better way than we do or whatever. I know I do, okay? But the power of expressing, I mean, that's just another way to eliminate toxins, right? So all of this is connected. Your bloodstream, your adrenals, your kidneys, your liver, your thyroid, your skin, right? And I want to make a whole different video about skin, but same thing, same systems, lymphatic system. Is it backed up? If it's backed up and it's not eliminating properly, it's going to come out in skin, eruptions, acne, psoriasis, eczema, whatever, okay? So, are you ready to release the chains of your own suppression and your own dis-ease? Okay, 'cause what's the worst case scenario? Somebody isn't gonna like you because you said words, swords, that they don't agree with? Well, good! They don't deserve to be in your life anyways, because anyone that cares about you wants you to speak your truth, whether you agree with it or they agree or not, right? Because people who love you want you healthy. They don't want you suppressed. They don't want you censored or silenced. And you know what? What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? It's words. Okay, so maybe you don't know how to get them out. And maybe you have, flashback traumas from being locked in the closet or being hogtied or whatever else, right? We all have our own cross to bear, right? So whether it was that extreme or not, we're all under some degree of societization, right? Where, we have to make sure everyone else is happy before us. But really, so, and I say this to empaths because they'll use that as an excuse. Technically, we were all born empaths, right? But we weren't really taught the ways. So when things showed up like vaccine damage or other diseases or what people call mental illness and stuff like that, they weren't taught the truth about their abilities. So I'll just say this, the witch burnings never ended, and that's a whole different topic, okay? So if you don't think we're living in a crazy school right now where everything is upside down, you know, but again, that's our school. So you chose to go to this school. You know what I mean? You can hate on the teachers or hate on the lessons, the tests or whatever, but only you can pass it. So you can practice speaking your truth in your own room, right? Or maybe you're better writing. Write it down and then read it. And you know what? If you have to, go in the mirror and read it. And while you're in the mirror, just say, dude, I am worthy. My truth matters. My path matters. I am valuable. I am ready to release the chains of suppression. I am ready to free myself into a world where I'm allowed to be me. I am good enough. My voice matters. I have value. Yes. Really, people talk about integrity, authenticity, but how much integrity do you have if you're afraid to speak your truth because you're afraid of what some stranger might think? Let them cry and bitch about it and have their own thyroid disease over there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, more important than diet, herbs, more important than that is learning to express and speak your truth so it doesn't fester up beneath the surface, right? Like, you can only dump so much toxic waste into the landfill before you got problems, right? Before the poison starts seeping into the water supply and then down the rivers and into your drinking source, right? And then it affects everyone around you. So the healthiest body, mind, and spirit thing to do is to speak your truth, and who cares what anyone else might think? Because if they're offended, if they don't like it, then they're not for you anyways, and they don't deserve to be anywhere near you. Everyone's truth matters, okay? And the words don't have to be swords, okay? But that expression, right? That's why we do art, or run, or box, or sing, right? And if you can't use your words, sing it, right? In the shower, or whatever, right? So not everyone can accept the truth, and that's okay, because we're in different classes, we're in different grade levels. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody else doesn't get you right now, it's okay. Maybe they never will, and maybe they will. I've actually had people in my life when I was going through my lack of expression to too much expression before I found what I'll naively call balance. At this point in time, like when they saw the rawr, they were just like, whoa, I can't do that. But you know what? It wasn't me. It wasn't anything wrong with me expressing. They just weren't ready because they had never seen that. They were taught that was impolite, or that's not what ladies do, right? Or children are to be seen and not heard. Whatever, religious upbringing. There are so many ways that our teachers, which we're all students and teachers of one another, so everyone outside of us and everyone inside of us, right? Cells, organs, etc., neurotransmitters, fairies, they're our teachers, right? So if you want to speak your truth like a boss, like dude, you're in boot camp, you want to pass, you want to be like officer level, or you know what I'm saying? And you want to get the hell out of there. So the more you practice saying what you mean, the easier it's going to be. And what you're going to see is the dead's going to die, the fluff's going to fall away, And the people who are standing in their truth, or at least working on it consciously, they're gonna gravitate towards you. And you're gonna have way better support network, friends, family, etc. around you, right? And I know it sucks when it's family who wants to suppress you and you feel like you have to just so you can see their pretty faces or whatever. Denying our truth, again, results in disease. So is that truth actually hurting them, or is it hurting you? If you're not speaking it, I guarantee it's hurting you. And again, the weight gain, that's just a reflection of the shit, literally, that we're holding on to. So you can use herbs, oils, things like that to assist in the process, because also on that level, by cleansing from the inside out and you're getting, say, your blood moving and things like that, then naturally you're gonna feel the effects energetically, metaphysically, spiritually, etc. But above and beyond herbs and diet is your state of mind. Are you ready to be confident and be the boss, be the freaking superhero that you came here to be? Hello, Hogwarts? Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Just because you don't know right now, hi mama, she's gonna pop any minute, how powerful you are doesn't mean that you are not. Just because you don't know right now that your truth is just as important as everyone else's doesn't mean it's not. And while you might be able to keep the happy face and keep your job and whatever, is it slowing down your thyroid, your metabolism, your adrenals? Is it resulting in the fruit that you want to eat of, right? Yeah. So if you are ready to be your own author, speak that truth. Who cares? Your truth is always just as important as anyone else's. And if they can't take it, fuck them. Like, suck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be healthy, inside and out, you have to look at the body as the whole picture. And your emotions, your feelings, your words count. Okay, and so while we're here, I'll just throw out some herbs that may, or essential oils that may or may not help with thyroid or metabolic conditions. I'm not a doctor. Do not take any of this advice without doing your own research. Go to pubmed.gov or wherever, right? And definitely do not start any herb or oil regimen without consulting with your medical professional. It is a fact that many medications interact negatively with very common foods and herbs. So, all right, so with that being said, being spring right now, there are so many herbs like right outside that can help purify, cleanse the blood, and thus give you positive results in the adrenal, the hypothyroid, the autoimmune, etc. So, dandelions, chickweed, cleavers, nettles, vervain, burdock, dock, what else? Cress. What else is out there right now? Clovers. Like literally all of these are immune support, blood cleansers. As for essential oils, frankincense, sandalwood, myrrh, geranium, clove, lemongrass. I have some lemongrass hanging right there. Oh, you're so beautiful. And you can take them in all sorts of varieties of way. I'm not going to get into that here. You can book a session at clearsightconsulting.net or go back and watch all my past videos. But, you know, you can either make an oil and rub it directly on, or I would just definitely, if you're going to take any oils internally, make sure that you do have the highest therapeutic quality available. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because they can be dangerous and I don't want to give anyone any erratic information here in a public forum. But again, more important than herbs and oils, speak your truth. It doesn't matter what anyone says. If you care about what they might think, then they should care about what you think. Otherwise, it's not a two-way relationship. And when it's not a two-way relationship and you're holding on to all of these things, then it results in dis-ease, anxiety, depression, lethargy, weight gain, constipation, skin disorders, right? So get that shit out, literally and metaphorically, not on anyone else, right? You don't have to shit on anyone else. If you are certain somebody doesn't want to hear your truth, then don't waste your time. Why? Because there's a million other people somewhere that do want to hear it, that do resonate with you, that might be those seeds that not only helped nourish your soul, but helped them bloom too, because they found out that they weren't the only one. All right, kiddos. Kiddos. I'm such an old curmudgeon-y crone. All right, have a good day. Thanks for being here. Bye.